Imagine holding up a mirror, and in that mirror, you don't just see your reflection, you see your patterns, the way you think, the way you speak, the way you argue, the way you react to triggers, the way you spend money, the way you chase success and sabotage yourself. That is self awareness. Let's talk about it. Hi, guys, my name is Glory, and this is Becoming It Pod, a space where we prioritize our growth and evolve into our best self. Studies have shown that a lot of people think they are self aware, but only a tiny fraction of people are actually self aware. What is self awareness? I'm sure if I ask you now, you'd say, I know myself, so I'm self aware. What is self awareness? The other day, I was scrolling through Instagram and then I saw a post where someone spoke about self awareness, and the comment section was people in the comment section were like, my overthinking, oh, my overthinking, every day I can't seem to stop. And I was surprised because how it doesn't relate. Like, how I just had to drop a comment. I don't usually comment, but I just had to. I'm like, guys, you are getting it wrong. These two things are different. They are different, right? So yeah, that is what we'll talk about today. What is self-awareness? It is knowing yourself beyond just, oh, this is my favorite color, this is my job, this is my personality type. It is knowing yourself on a deeper level, knowing the why about yourself. Have you ever wondered why you keep attracting the same kind of toxic people? Why you keep attracting the same kind of negative patterns, or you keep repeating certain kind of decisions? I noticed there are quite a few things that I tend to repeat in my life. I tend to repeat and try to, why does this thing keep happening? And to be honest, when you do this, when you sit down and ask yourself, why do I keep repeating this kind of patterns? Or why do I keep attracting the same kind of people? Or why do I keep making certain kind of decisions over and over again? You're going to be able to notice that it is a you problem. It is not about life, or it's not about you having bad luck. It is because you've not sat down to ask yourself the why. You've not sat down to know yourself. What do I really want? What are the things that trigger me? Why do I react in the way I do? Why do I spend money as soon as money comes into my hand? Why am I? You don't just look in the mirror and ask yourself why. You should be in a state where you really want to get answers. You are prepared to get what the answers that you really need. When I did this, I actually realized it was a me problem, to be honest. Nobody was the cause of my bad decisions. It was just me, because I kept chasing what felt familiar. Let's use this example. You see someone who physically they look good, and you automatically say, oh, this is my type. What makes them your type? Have you asked yourself that? You are going after what feels familiar to you, not what you know is healthy for you. We make certain decisions. Oh, money just came to my hand now. I need to go and feel good. I need to go and enjoy myself because it feels familiar. But in the long run, is it healthy for you? Do you want to keep being that person who you just, as soon as you get money, you spend, you get money, you spend, you don't want to build, you don't want to grow your money? What makes that thing your type? Why does that thing, why is it exciting you in that moment? Why do you spend so much money? Why do you make the same kind of decisions? Now, what are the kinds of self-awareness? There is internal and external self-awareness. There has to be a balance with these two. There has to be a balance to it. As much as you are internally self-aware, you have to be externally self-aware. You have to know how your actions affect other people. Internal self-awareness has to do with your feelings, your thoughts, your values, how your actions, or why certain things trigger you, how your actions are affecting your life. External self-awareness, you get to understand how other people experience you. How does this person see me? Now, this is not to say seek external validation or be overly self-conscious. No. It is you knowing how your actions are affecting other people, because the truth is, we are all connected. Whatever I do today is affecting somebody somewhere, good or bad. Whatever you do today is affecting somebody somewhere. Whatever action somebody does is affecting you somehow. We are all connected. As long as you're on earth, other people's action would affect you. Your action would affect other people. So that is why we need to be self-aware. We need to know how these things, how our actions are affecting us and affecting the people around us. How do you know if you're becoming self-aware? You get uncomfortable with old patterns. You no longer want to associate with that place. You want to just tell yourself, no, I'm done with this. I'm no longer in this place. I don't want to be. I remember when a friend of mine would always tell me, Glory, you are this, you're this, you're this. And I was working on that. It was something I had acknowledged about myself. It was something I knew I needed to change, I needed to work on. But he would always be quick to remind me, like, this is you, this is you. And I didn't like it. I was not happy about it. So I would always tell him, no, I'm not. It was a tag he gave to me, and I would always tell him, no, I'm not this person. So that I don't end up believing that, yes, that is who I am. Because I'm trying to work on it. I'm trying to dissociate myself from that place. So I'll tell him, no, I am not that person. I'm changed. I'm trying to change. So you need to help me. Okay? Another thing is you need to start questioning your beliefs, the things you've been taught growing up, the things they told you, your culture, traditions, religion. Have you sat down to ask yourself, these things, how are they helping me? How is it benefiting my life? How is it working for me? Are they working for you? Are they working for you? You need to sit down and ask for clarity. You need to sit down and ask God for clarity, not just because somebody said so. Certain things would only work out or grow when you actually, and certain things would end when you actually decide to ask yourself, why do I react this way? Earlier today, a handyman was supposed to come to my house, and then he was supposed to do something for me, and I kept texting him. He would not respond to me. He would not respond. He would read and not respond, and I was getting upset because I'm human. I was getting upset. I was like, what's up with this man? But I realized that, okay, I had to call myself back. It was in that moment I had to call myself, which is part of self-awareness, where you call yourself in the middle of your autopilot act. Because we are humans, we have developed habits that we no longer even have control over them. They just happen automatically. I had to just stop and ask myself, why am I getting angry at this person? Why am I pissed? Why? Okay. It was now about me. It was no longer about his actions, which immediately just brought down my mood. I was calmer. I felt calmer. And then I asked myself, why am I feeling upset that he didn't respond to me? And then I said, oh, okay, this is why I feel this way. It's affecting my ego. It's doing something to my ego. And then I realized that ego is what stops you from looking at that mirror and saying, this is what I need to change about myself. This is where I'm flawed. This is what needs to be fixed in my life. Ego is the enemy indeed. And you look at yourself, but you don't want to accept that you are flawed. You need to fix yourself. You don't want to listen to nobody. You don't want to take advice from nobody. You don't want to believe that you have some kind of... In my case, I acknowledged that I had a problem. And I worked on it. I was working on it. So it's different when you acknowledge it and you're working on it and someone is trying to make you believe that you are that person. No, it's different compared to when you know that you're supposed to work on something, but you are just in denial. You just don't care. You don't want to believe that you are at a bad place in your life. That is ego. You need to conquer it from your life. After I sat down and I asked myself, why is this man's action upsetting me? And then I realized, oh, it's affecting my ego. It's making me feel like I'm not worth replying, or I'm not. And I'm like, oh, okay, calm down. It's not so. And then I called him and he said he was so busy. And to be honest, I could tell from his voice he was so busy. He wasn't even paying much attention to what I was saying. And I understood. Do you now understand how self-awareness and our actions are connected? Because I would have gotten so mad at that man get angry, talk to him anyhow, tell him I would never call him for a service, I would never recommend him to anybody. Do you now understand how it's all connected? And if I had done that, he would have more problems to deal with than just the ones he has been dealing with. So this is just me saying that we need to do better. We need to check ourselves and actually tell ourselves the truth. We need to hold up that mirror and ask ourselves, why do I get triggered when somebody does something to me? Why do I feel this way when certain things happen? Why do I keep attracting bad partners? Why do I keep making bad decisions? I keep repeating same negative patterns. When you sit down and ask yourself this, you get answers, and that is how you grow. That is how you become a better person. Unless if you don't want to be better, unless if you want to see yourself, if you want to just remain stuck. Because of course, not everybody is willing to grow. Not everybody is interested in growth. Yeah, that's the truth. So it's not really for everybody. It's not really for everybody. I just want you to know that your lack of self-awareness is affecting somebody somewhere. And it is more, the effect is more. You negatively impact somebody more when you lack self-awareness, because you are not considerate, you're not careful with people's emotions, you're not careful how your actions would affect other people. That is why we are where we are today. So please, this is just me saying, do better. Subsequently, we're going to be discussing self-awareness. We're just going to be doing something like a guide that we used to get through the month. So this month we are going to be focusing on self-awareness. We need to know ourselves on a deeper level. So the next week we are going to have a subtopic under self-awareness, and as we go every month we're going to have a main focus for the month. So yeah, that is just how we're going to do it, because we have to become it together. So guys, if this episode helped you, do well to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.